In response to my opponent's rebuttal, I still maintain that I am correct in my rejection of the resolution. There is no overriding ethical obligation to protect and preserve extraterrestrial microbes and ecosystems through international law. The benefits of exploiting space simply outweigh the negatives. The magnitude of the positive benefits of exploiting space, along with the relatively short time frame in which we can reap these benefits, means humanity as a species cannot prohibit ourselves from taking full advantage of space. I will use my time to convey my point and to respond to my opponent's rebuttals. To start, I must dismiss one of my opponent's arguments on the fact that she misquoted one of my contentions from my constructive speech. She claims that I suggested it would be unethical for poor countries, who cannot afford to go into space, to be expected to give money to help protect extraterrestrial life. This is wrong, as I in fact said something very different. I stated that it would be unethical for those countries wealthy enough to access space to use their capital to protect extraterrestrial life rather than to tackle some of the human issues we have here on Earth in less fortunate nations. The difference between the contention my opponent attributed to me and my actual contention is great, so great that it completely nullifies her point of the argument. My opponent also attempts to reject my contention that we must use the resources we find in space, no matter the cost to microbial life, by arguing that protecting microbial life would prove beneficial in the long run. She contends that research of extraterrestrial life can benefit humanity economically, scientifically, and socially. However, my opponent provides no evidence to substantiate her claims. Therefore, her argument in this regard is baseless. Even if citations were provided, my contention still takes precedent over hers on the grounds that any resources we find in space, both in the form of materials and research on extraterrestrial life, can be more quickly and efficiently utilized if we do not put laws in place protecting extraterrestrial ecosystems. Furthermore, protecting extraterrestrial ecosystems and researching them for the benefit of our planet may be mutually exclusive events. To understand any life forms we encounter in space, it may be necessary for us to harm them. In fact, the act of simply visiting an extraterrestrial ecosystem may be enough to harm it, as cross-contamination from Earth has the potential to wreak havoc on other planets. This harm, however, is necessary in the grand scheme of things, as we must use any resources we find in space and any knowledge we may gain up there to help our fellow man now. We cannot afford to simply sit back and observe space when we can be making a much more substantial difference on Earth by taking a more active role. We are at a pivotal point in our history, not just as a nation, but as a planet. We have the choice to hamper future generations' utilization and research of space, or set an example and use the potential of space to our advantage. To allow international law to restrict our freedom in humanity's final frontier will be doing a disservice to all mankind. It is for this reason that I implore you to reject the resolution and concur that humanity does not have an ethical obligation to preserve and protect extraterrestrial microbial life and ecosystems through international laws. A vote for my contentions is a vote for the future prosperity of our planet. To the judge, I'd like to thank you for your moderation of this debate, and to my opponent, I wish you the best of luck. May the best argument win.